Much like the time that the Custom Intercontinental Championship came in, and I wasn't patient enough to wait and unbox it on the channel, I had the same problem occur when BC Brute issue 1 came in. Cover A, cover B, and cover C. When they came in, I could not wait to open them. The boxes, I enjoyed the prints. I bagged and boarded, I boxed up, printed out labels, shipped them out, all that good stuff. And so this is not a BC Brute issue 1 unboxing, but with WrestleMania 41 over the weekend, this will be a triple shot. What Mr. Super Oz thinks will happen, what I want to happen, and a wild card pick for WrestleMania 41. When it comes to what I think will happen, it's pretty simple. I'm pretty sure everybody thinks this will happen. My one big hang up from thinking this will happen, this being John Cena winning his 17th World Championship in WWE over Cody Rhodes. My one hang up is, to me, it seems as though it's almost a foregone conclusion that it will be a downer ending to the show. I say this downer ending because John Cena is no longer the beloved good guy, and I presume that Travis Scott and The Rock will get involved and help John Cena defeat Cody Rhodes. And my issue with that is, for so long, when Roman was on top with his never ending Universal title reign, it was shenanigans abound, and that's what led to Roman retaining and the reign feeling like it was never going to end. And I know those endings weren't exactly celebratory or fun, and so I just feel off about the idea of John winning his 17th World Championship in the main event of WrestleMania as a bad guy. But I do think it will happen. Now, with that, it makes it hard to imagine Steve Austin coming in to help him, because he's made the statement in the past that, oh, if Cody needs him, he'll be there to even the odds with The Rock. But it's like, if Austin was to have Cody's back to support him as opposed to how Rock supports John currently, it's like, would Steve want to be on the losing end of things? I feel like that doesn't feel right. So I think John will win his 17th World Championship over Cody, but I don't think that Steve Austin's going to be there to support. I think that Cody will get assistance, but whenever he inevitably wins back the title, and I think that's actually the smarter time frame to give him Cody Vengers, as they jokingly have put it before. You want for good guys to come out on top and not look like dummies. Yeah. And so I'm going to say Cody loses to John in the main event of night 2 without any assistance, and John gets help from The Rock and Travis Scott. I'm not entirely certain if there needs to be another person there to help, because so long as Cody is doing it one-on-one, then I don't see any reason for John and The Rock to get any additional help aside from Travis Scott, because Rock is humongous. I would only have Travis Scott there so that he can eat a Crossroads as payback for the black eye that Cody got at Elimination Chamber, and because it still would make it 2 known wrestlers against 1 known wrestler. And so yeah, that's what I think will happen. But what I want to have happen is, if I could rebook it, I would put main event Jey Uso in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 against Gunther for that World Heavyweight Championship. I don't have that power, so I'm just going to say I want to see Jey Uso come away with the World Heavyweight Championship. Although, I don't know why that they call it the World Heavyweight Championship when the belt itself doesn't say heavyweight. It's just the WWE World Championship. Like, I got it with the big gold belt. Like, that thing says World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, whereas this one just says WWE World Champion. I've always thought that was a little puzzling. I mean, AEW does the same thing, where people will often say the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and that title also just says World Champion, which I think is for the best, especially given that it was so odd for Rey Mysterio to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion when he's clearly not a heavyweight whatsoever. But yeah, like I said, what I want to see happen is for Jey Uso to defeat Gunther, to prove that he has learned, he's grown, he's gotten better over time, and it all wasn't for nothing. And by all, I basically mean the Royal Rumble win, because he lost the King of the Ring to Gunther, he lost at Saturday Night's Main Event to Gunther, and it's like, you need to prove that this man has learned how to overcome the ring general. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute. And last and finally, the thing that is not necessarily what I want, not even necessarily what I think, but my wild card pick for WrestleMania 41, and it's pretty easy to understand if you think about the history of Paul E. Dangerously, or Paul Heyman. And in the actual main event of WrestleMania Night 1 on Saturday, I believe that not only will Paul Heyman not come out with Roman Reigns, but he will come out with CM Punk, but I believe that he will not walk out with Roman at the end or with Punk at the end, but I think that Paul Heyman will turn on both his tribal chief and CM Punk, his best friend, and align himself with the architect, the visionary, whatever nickname you want to give Seth Rollins. And the reason for this presumption is because Paul is so skilled at not being loyal. Whether it be the fact that in his own promotion of Extreme Championship Wrestling, him letting people down by not paying them properly, by leaving them while the company was going through bankruptcy proceedings to take a job doing commentary for World Wrestling Federation. Paul also left Brock Lesnar for Paul White or the Big Show. He left Big Show for Kurt Angle. Paul is just known for putting Paul Heyman first. Even when it comes to being the head writer of SmackDown, supposedly he had eyes and ears and was trying to figure out what Raw was doing, that way that he could try and one-up them with SmackDown. It's the idea that Paul Heyman puts Paul Heyman first, and in the case of not sticking with Roman, it actually, to me, makes a good amount of sense because of the idea after last year's WrestleMania, Paul was on an island unto himself when his tribal chief was gone, so much so that Solo Sikoa wanted Paul Heyman to declare him, Solo, Paul's tribal chief, and he says, "You are not my tribal chief." then eats a triple power bomb through the announce table, is gone for a while. Roman comes back, but he never actually had to answer for his absence. And whereas this could very well rectify whatever shortcomings there were with that part of the story, where Paul was more or less punished for staying loyal to Roman, and then Roman was not exactly what I would call there for Paul. And so it's not so much of a Paul Heyman turning on Punk in the match per se, but it's him choosing to go with Seth Rollins over Roman Reigns throughout the match or at the climax of the match. And so obviously it will be pseudo him turning on Punk, but only because he walked out with Punk for this night. But it wouldn't even be like it's the first time that Paul Heyman went with other clients over Punk, because there was a whole period of time where Paul Heyman was with Curtis Axel and Ryback and Cesaro and all kinds of people, as opposed to CM Punk, and even actually opposed to CM Punk. And I would be totally fine with Heyman creating a new Dangerous Alliance. I thought that the Dangerous Alliance times in WCW were some of Paul's most intriguing clients, with Rick Rude and Steve Austin, beautiful Bobby Eaton, Larry Zbyszko, the list goes on, him and Medusa. And I just think that it would be interesting or intriguing to see where Paul Heyman could go, getting himself away from Roman, and Punk doesn't even realistically need him. And so by him creating a new stable with Rollins, it just gives so many possibilities. And especially since post WrestleMania, I presume people will be coming to Raw and or SmackDown from NXT. It's a great way to make or give these people an opportunity to work with Rollins and Heyman, and then instantly thrust them into a higher position if they so choose. But yeah, so that's my triple shot for WrestleMania. Tell me below who you think will come out on top when the show happens this weekend. Enjoy.